The 5 imperial powers of the world: Brenland, Preußen, Frank, Hubstria, and Ruse. These empires held regular conferences known as the Vian Summit.
That's the forum they used to exchange information on how best to govern Europa, wasn't it? The leading superpower was the British Empire. Like today, their country was the most influential in Europa.
Why is Emperor Claudius not here?
I'm sure you can guess the reason.
Well, it would seem that Jutland has him thoroughly whipped. There's no way he'd show his face now.
But it is still the dead of winter. I do hope his imperial posterior hasn't frozen to the throne.
I have a message from His Majesty to everyone present.
Let us hear it then. Speak.
Spring is nearly upon us.
Is that all?
Indeed it is.
What an amusing man.
I believe everyone understands its meaning. The time when the signs of spring surround us is the time the Rusi Empire redraws the map of Europa. Please look forward to it.
That part. Dreadful as ever. The temperature drops every time they enter the room.
Everything is as the ancient, the Valkyria wishes it to be.
I'm honored that you've graced me with some of your time. I know you're a busy woman.
Nay, the honor is all mine. Thank you for this opportunity.
Let's dive right in. You've led Jutland to victory after victory, all the while solidifying its people's trust in you. The reason I asked for this interview is to learn how your Highness feels about the war and her plans for the future.
Please, ask anything you wish.
January 6, 1854. There is record that Ophelia was interviewed by Freke the traitor. With a sincere voice, she spoke of why she stood on the front lines, as well as her aspirations for the people.
Many would describe this war as one fought for liberation.
Just so. The fight for freedom, liberation as you put it, has united the people as one.
I agree.
Furthermore, there is something I wish to inform you, now that the opportunity presents itself.
By all means.
Well, you see, within the ranks of the Rusi Empire, someone who was thought to be long since dead, the Prince of Ipsaria, is alive.
Is that so?
Indeed.
It hasn't been confirmed.
This is a delicate matter, Your Highness. Would you allow me to decide whether or not to include this in the article? First question. The word princess doesn't usually call to mind someone wielding a sword or gun. I admit even now, sitting in front of you, trying to imagine you braving the battlefield is...
A bit difficult?
Yes, excuse my bluntness.
I did not want to be trapped by conventional ideas of what a princess ought to be. As I learned in my institute days, There is much and more I would never have known without leaving the palace walls.
It's my understanding that you excelled at the Institute of Alchemy.
Alchemy was not the only subject I studied there. I met people from many walks of life, and from them fostered different ways of thinking. 'Twas like entering a new world. Those experiences made me who I am today. And as a member of the royal family who holds the kingdom's fate in my hand, I felt it was my duty to protect the people I had met.
And that sense of duty is what compelled you to join Vanargand?
Just so. I applied the moment it was established.
And your father, His Majesty, did not oppose this at all?
But of course he did, along with half the country. Nevertheless, I worked hard to earn everyone's understanding and approval. Fortunately, my Ragnite aptitude complements my convictions. I suspect that played a role in swaying their opinions. History tells of many royal women who have taken the field. I am certainly no exception.
Well, this is true. I've heard stories of a Brennish princess who once led the charge in battle herself.
As you may know, the blood of that same princess flows through my veins.
Are you saying you were born for this?
At present, I believe that fighting connects me to my subjects, so to speak. The battlefield reminds me of what it means to be royalty. Some call me a savior, but I do not deserve such a name. In combat, I am but a soldier. I learned that lesson well. Untethered by titles, I can wield a sword without restraint. Knowing that I stand with 8 million Judish lives at my back is what gives me the strength to fight another day.
Words I'm sure will give any who read this piece strength.
Why, thank you. My world has grown much wider thanks to the people I've met, both at the Institute and among my friends in the squad. They too are connected to countless other lives. Once I realized that, it felt as if liberating a country was like bringing freedom to each and every one of its citizens.
Restoring their freedom, huh? I see.
February 7. In another country within the Ruzi Empire, Solomon met with Brenlin's ambassador, off the records.
An unofficial meeting with a leading power and contributor to the BRFH blockade? The traitors even pulled that off?
I'd like to begin by stating Jutland's stance regarding the other world powers, what with this war with Ruse. We do not wish to war with the countries that are unjustly staging the economic blockade against us.
What do you mean, an economic blockade?
Ambassador, did you not agree to meet with me because you wish to have a mutually beneficial discussion? Let's be frank with one another.
You're an intriguing fellow, I'll give you that.
So I've been told.
All right, by Jove. Let's hear what you have to say first.
The land of Molda, which our country reclaimed in that initial battle with Ruse, has a history associated to it. This war originates from this grievance and has nothing to do with the other world powers.
And just what does this grievance entail?
That I cannot say. Only that it is a problem between Jutland and Ruse.
And you expect us to accept that explanation without question?
I would appreciate if you do so.
You sound rather self-assured.
Of course. I didn't come empty-handed. I have prepared a means to prove our credibility. 3 days from now, we will liberate one of Ruse's colonies.
What?
Dunfalst, in the east.
Dunfalst? That's a country with deep ties to Brenland.
Indeed. You have disputed its ownership with Ruse in the past. Our country will liberate it, and when the war with Ruse ends, we will present it to you as a gift.
Is that possible?
Certainly. Jutland has no stake in Dunfalst, and only cares to strike a blow against Ruse. However, if Brenland wishes it, we shall obtain it. I'd like you to understand that we only have our eyes set on Ruse. I would appreciate if you take our conversation back to your homeland.
Why do you wish to accommodate our country so much?
Jutland's royal family has distant familial ties to Brenland. This proposal stems from that mutual bond.
I see. I understand now.
Returning to our discussion, the sanctions you've placed against our country aren't very aggressive.
What do you mean by that?
These are merely my thoughts on the matter, but the other world powers don't think too highly of the Rusi Empire. In fact, you wish to be rid of them if possible. With the blockade, it may appear you agree with Ruse, but don't you have plans in place to abandon them if need be?
You say very interesting things. I will respond at a later date, so I must ask that you leave for today.
When Dunfalst is liberated 3 days from now, might I ask you to draw the Valkyria's attention for a few days?
The Valkyria? You're making a frightfully audacious proposal.
It's for our freedom. Once we acquire that, we hope to form an alliance with Brenland.
Solomon, who hurried back, immediately approached the military and influenced them to move on Dunfalst. Parliament, however, had put this plan on hold. Many opinions from both the anti-war movement and the pro-war faction pointed out its low strategic value.
Jutland is presently closing in on the Rusi Empire from the Western Front. The next target, Dunfalst, is surely off this course. Many of you within the military and Parliament have expressed your skepticism with this proposal. However, those doubts can be cleared with but one word. And that is liberation. Jutland's suffering is one that is felt through all of Europa. There is significant strategic meaning to this. Not only do we focus on the route to advance on our enemy, but by liberating the lands claimed by Ruse, our country will do exactly what we aspire to achieve in this war. These actions will put pressure against their empire.
I heard you left the country.
What nonsense.
Then where, pray tell, have you been these past few days?
The bathhouses.
Without so much as notifying your fiancé?
You're a man as well. I'm sure you can hazard a guess.
You cannot deceive me.
You honestly say the strangest things.
I object to all warfare, no matter how pretty its trappings. Others may blindly follow such propaganda, but not I.
Oh? Propaganda?
Nothing but tragedy lies at the end of a military campaign. War is evil.
Then how would you explain the present situation? If we gave in to the embargo and became unable to function as a country, what could a single member of Parliament do?
At least I made an effort. I stayed in Ruse till negotiations were scraped together from naught.
Yet naught came from it. The war is producing results. Make no mistake, this was done because I love our country.
My love for this nation is not inferior to yours.
And that's fine, isn't it? Let's work together for the sake of our country.
Liberation became a magic word for the country, and the traders supported it to justify this battle. Around this time, no one believed Jutland could ever lose.
I read it!
I feel a little embarrassed.
You sure had a lot to say.
The journalist had some very good questions. I couldn't help but to get passionate.
Well, he couldn't have picked a better time to put it out.
How do you mean?
Well, the Dunfal's mission is to liberate the colony, right? So it's good to have the princess rally behind that word. In a way, this operation takes on even more meaning.
Oh, Bloom, you're so endearingly dim-witted.
It's like they're still cadets.
Nothing wrong with that. It does good for morale.
Did you read it? Huh? Did ya?
No, not quite yet.
So, are you embarrassed?
Godot,
Yes, Your Highness.
any mention of Ipsaria has been omitted.
Well, the journalist did say he might leave it out.
Huh.
Looks like you're all here. We deploy tomorrow, 0400.
Well, this is rather sudden.
It explains why Parliament was so noisy.
I hate waking up early.
We've got your back. You want me or Bridget to drag you out of bed?
I'm counting on you, Tilda.
No hesitation, huh? Well, it's no wonder, given the other option.
Prep and get some rest, all of you. Dismissed.
The princess is the same as usual.
I'll be leaving out the shocking truth about Laertes.
Naturally. Amlet, it's dangerous having the princess and prince meet. Can you do anything at the site?
I can kill him.
Sorry for increasing your workload.
He says he's a grand general. That makes him an enemy.
Gotta wonder why, though. The Rux do his folks in, so this one-armed wonder signs up as the Emperor's new pet? Please.
Regardless, we can't have her doing something unpredictable. I'm counting on you, Amlet.
Yeah.
Where you headed?
Where I'm needed. Violet is investigating. But now that discord has manifested at the Vian Summit, our best move is distracting Ruse with the major powers. If all goes according to plan, I can buy you time to upgrade and tune up your arsenal.
That's our Saul. His plotting face is not just for looks.
Never is.
Lord Madkine.
Oh, Councilman Lindegard.
There is something I wish to ask you, if I may.
Oh? What's that?
Where is Councilman Kallenberg? I've not seen him for days.
What business do you have with Solomon?
There are rumors that he has left the country. Forgive my impertinence. I only asked because you and Miss Sophia shall soon be uniting your family with his. I merely assumed one of you might know his whereabouts.
I haven't heard anything. How about you?
I haven't either. He doesn't talk very much about work.
Thank you for letting us know, Councilman. I'll ask where he went the next time I see him.
A little birdie from the business world told me something. Brenlin's trying to dig up dirt on you, Saul. And yeah, I greased a lot of palms to make sure this info's legit.
Well, it's to be expected. From their point of view, you could be useful in many ways.
I'm honored.
Be careful. Ruse is pretty dangerous, but you can't let your guard down against Brenlin either.
If I was in their position, I would investigate me too.
They'll be keeping an eye on you.
That's about what I expected. It'll add some tension to my life.
Stop joking around.
It's fine as long as Brenlin's focus is on me. Hamlet will be able to handle the rest.
The anti-Valkyria squad commenced their attack on Dunfalst.
Vanargand, attack!
With this, we have liberated yet another domain from the Empire's reign of terror. Thank you, everyone, for making this victory possible.
Sort of feels like you're the captain now.
Oh. My apologies.
For what? Up's over. Let's go.
What's the matter?
The prince did not appear. Hamlet, please, help me persuade Laertes to fight with us, not against us.
We've been through this. He's the enemy.
I'll repeat it as many times as I must, until you understand.
You're wasting your time. Next time he shows up, I'm ending him.
Jutland, who won the Battle of Dunfalst, immediately began establishing an interim government.
Having learned from his experience in Apsaria, Solomon set up a leader this time. He announced that he had searched for and found its long-lost prince. But that was... Donovan Lindegard later uncovered he was a fake. I wonder why nobody figured it out.
It was around this time when the word liberation took a form of its own. The traders needed a leader in Dunfalst. It was to emphasize the cause to both Jutland and Ruse, but only until the day they'd relinquish it to Brenland.
What do you think? We did exactly as I said we would. A letter of guarantee. When the war ends, Dunfalst will be Brenlin's.
I have news from my homeland. We vow to draw the attention of the Valkyria.
Deals like these were made frequently?
Weakening the Ruzi Empire was of mutual interest to the major powers, or at the very least, to influential people. Solomon the Traitor capitalized on that fact and worked hard to gain the cooperation of the superpowers. Most of this planning was done so that Ruzi's military might couldn't focus on Jutland.
I see. A small country like Jutland was able to sustain a war with an empire thanks to these diversions.
Analysis is being conducted as quickly as possible, but we believe there is ulterior motive to Jutland taking Dunfalst.
Your Majesty fought Brenland for Dunfalst. I wonder what they think of this.
Indeed. Should we call for the ambassador?
That will not be necessary. His words will amount to naught. There is, however, someone far more worthy of our attention. The one who oversaw the establishment of Ipseria's and Dunfalst's interim governments. Investigate this man.
As you wish.
It seems you've been standing out too much. The Empire has their eyes on you.
I suppose that proves they aren't completely blind. Why not show more concern for your well-being, rather than for other people?
I'll be fine. I'm heading back to Ruse. He's waiting for me. There's been some movement in the army. I'm going to investigate.
Looks like you got a tail. Huh. Leave it to me.
Don't you screw with me, asshole!
This is all just a misunderstanding!
Did you expect me to buy that crap?
Huh? Sorry. Please help! This guy's gonna beat me up!
Hey, let me go! Oh, we got a wise guy, huh? Now listen here, buddy.
What brings you here?
I ask the same of you. You come here often. Do you have business with the departed? Who is this man to you?
A friend.
From his remains, feel an intense emotion, a powerful will that tries to burn this man to ash.
A powerful will, you say?
The blade was full of rage, perhaps resentment.
An undying grudge, so to speak. These tombs house more than a few of those.
I know this blade.
Where's His Majesty?
He went to see Balthus.
Perhaps to swear revenge. I can almost feel the warm embrace of spring.
The moon seems so much fuller. We put the king and his heir to sleep on a night like this.
Yes, it was just as quiet.
Sometimes I still dream about the evening of the coup.
Do you know?
Surprised?
I can't say that I ever have.
What a thrill it was. The beginning of a new age for us all.
Everything changed once His Majesty summoned the Valkyria.
His Majesty's a real terror. Even with the backing of death itself, doing in your own father and brother takes guts. But it was also the start of greater ruse.
You're drunk.
It was Balthus who dealt with the Crown Prince that eve.
Balthus knew how to get things done. He could tear an enemy apart, all while wearing a smile. Ruse would have never maintained its foreign relations without him.
Aren't you chatty tonight?
I guess you spurred me on. I think the five of us did a fine job building up greater ruse through each of our specialties. Gustav, the man who attacked you at Avalon. I think that's who killed Balthus.
Now there's a face I won't soon forget. If that alchemist was his killer, I'll take care of it.
More importantly,
Hmm?
what are your thoughts on his replacement?
Maxime? His induction into the Grand Generals came as a surprise, but that's all part of the fun. If nothing else, his combat prowess piques my interest.
I see. So you approve?
And you don't?
I believe it's too soon to judge.
How very prudent, and yet how boring.
What can I say? It's my nature.
Things really have been calming down lately.
That's what everyone's saying. Life is good and things are changing for the better.
Perhaps the royal family can finally rest in peace.
Oh, if only His Majesty could see the country now.
Ah, there was a king who listened to his people. A finer man we may never live to see.
It really was the correct choice to take you under our wing, to accomplish so much for us. You are the perfect soldier.
Your Majesty.
Special delivery. One alchemic weapon fresh out of the oven. Thanks to all that time Saul bought us, its specs are off the charts. Better precision, better power.
It looks the same.
I said it's got precision and power, not a damn paint job. Go on, take it for a swing. It's my best work yet. Honest.
I'll try it out.
And the rest of the squad? We're working on the final mods. Once they're good to go, we'll ship them to the unit's HQ. Get ready for greatness. Hey, big guy. That boy here isn't exactly a ray of sunshine, is he? But he's not a bad guy once you get to know him. I used to be able to kick his ass, you know? Except nowadays, he's the one who's large and in charge. So keep him from going all doom and gloom for me, will ya? Yeah, sure he's got a stick up his ass, but try and play nice. We're counting on you, you big galoot.
Yes, of course. Your friend cares very deeply for you. He's one of the other orphans who survived the fire, isn't he? Adopted by a small factory owner, he took his father's business and became the titan of industry he is today. He's got a good head for business, and through his father's tutelage became an important figure in the business world.
Why are you looking into us like this?
To better understand, Captain. This war is just a cover for your revenge over what happened to the orphanage. That incident was swept under the rug by Jutland due to our then alliance with the Ruse Empire. Your pasts were erased, and Ruse built a base in the backyard of your burned-down childhood home. But when this war presented itself, you leapt at the chance to seek vengeance on the Grand Generals and the Emperor. That's why Mr. Sabanci keeps modifying your weapon, so that when you finally get close to the Emperor...
Enough!
Captain, the war is necessary for Jutland's survival, but your personal politics do not belong in it.
What do you know?
They say revenge accomplishes nothing.
We're not after anything. Just blood for blood. Justice. Jutland didn't give us any justice. They didn't even try. We lost everything to that fire. Might as well have never existed. So we took matters into our own hands. Maybe one small orphanage seemed unimportant to Jutland. But it was our home. Having your whole life stolen from you. That kind of anger never fades.
You finally opened up, Captain. Captain, I'm with you.
I'm not in the mood for jokes.
I want your anger to fuel you. Not for revenge, but for the sake of our country and its people.
You don't understand anything. You weren't there. You didn't feel the flames. I won't let anything stop us. Never bring this up again.
Captain, I just wanted...
Enough! I don't want your acceptance.
Your secret's safe with me. I won't tell anyone in the squad, not even Princess Ophelia. She'd only try to stop you.
Looking good, Your Highness. You're anticipating my movements more naturally now. Each thrust, every parry fills me by degrees with the sense that I am one with the sword. Such handsome words. I do not wish to drag down the others. Every time I take the field, I seem to cause some sort of trouble. I have to be stronger.
Did you learn anything else about your, magic melody?
It may have something to do with my royal family's lineage. The rest is mere conjecture. If my voice can indeed affect the Valkyria, however, I must strengthen my song as well as my sword.
Then how about you practice your singing after our sparring?
I shall do just that.
You found out?
Huh. That man's more resourceful than I thought.
Son of a... So, what do you say?
What you'd expect.
Revenge accomplishes nothing?
Pretty much.
Worn out words.
Said he won't interfere, though.
Huh?
He wants me to use my anger for the good of the country.
What about the princess?
Said he won't tell her either.
Can we trust him?
As a soldier.
What do you mean?
I trust him on the battlefield, but off it, he's shown no hesitation about prying into our pasts.
That's the most troublesome type. They believe their actions are correct.
They're a pair, the princess and that officer.
The hell are we gonna do now?
We continue as though nothing's changed.
I suppose that's all we can do.
Kinda worried here. How much does the big galoot know?
He knows about you.
Hot damn. Did I do something to expose myself?
Oh, what a headache. I better tell Saul and Vi to be careful.
Magnificent.
Hey, Lieutenant, I want to try this puppy out.
As do I. Captain, perhaps we should have a field exercise. If Mr. Sabanchi would oblige.
Whoa, whoa. Mr. Sabanchi's my father. Please, call me Basil.
If Mr. Basil would oblige.
Sounds good. Besides, we want to see how these bad boys turned out with our own eyes. Come on, let's do this. That's fine, right, Mr. Captain?
Sure.
I'll handle everything. Come, Mr. Basil, let's discuss this further.
Yeah.
Medals pile at your feet as the heads of our enemies roll, Maxime. You are nigh unstoppable.
What does your Majesty wish to seize next?
Rest, for the nonce. We must inspect your arm. It really was the correct choice to take you unarmed. To accomplish so much for us, you are the perfect soldier.
Drat. I was hoping they'd improve its aesthetic appearance. Something more majestic, more magnificent, more like me.
I mean, we really don't have room to complain, but I get it. Maybe I could put a ribbon on mine.
Not you too, Helena. Thanks a ton for your frank opinions. Sorry. No, really. You're saving us a whole lot of cash on paid focus groups, so don't hold back.
Your attention, please. We'll be splitting into 2 teams and performing a mock battle.
Your alchemic armaments are ready to rumble.
Shall we begin, Captain?
Go for it.
Squad A, step forward. Commence attack.
I won't be able to gather any solid data at this rate. Hey guys, fighting small fries like that'd be boring, right?
Damn straight.
I beg your pardon?
Squad B will now raid Squad A.
Pardon?
Follow me!
I'd wager those are good to go in real combat, no prob.
We appreciate all your help.
Don't sweat it. Happy to lend a hand so Jutland can win big.
I'm glad we can count on you.